not only to others that they're hating against, but also to themselves. They're limiting their own lives.
Heath Ledger now inhabits hell. He's dead and he's in hell. He said out of his own mouth, which will be his condemnation, 3 times he deliberately put his hand to play a fag. He was touted roundly, called a brave guy, so this, blah, 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 barf. He did it on purpose. Heath Ledger gave this message with a huge megaphone. That is a lie. It is okay to be gay.
Gay figures and celebrities in the media, I think, are portrayed better now than they were before. Look at Ellen, she has her own television show. Look at Will and Grace, it gets a lot of ratings. So it's like, I think they're portrayed, more positive now than they were years ago.
I guess it depends on the individual and how they handle themselves. I think that somebody like Ellen DeGeneres is well accepted and mainstreamed no differently than anybody else. When you speak out, depending on how you speak out, it's viewed very negatively. So, in the case of Rosie O'Donnell, she tends to step on people's toes, and therefore she's portrayed with a negative light.
It's still very narrowly focused. And I'm not expecting for the Iron Curtain to drop and things to miraculously change overnight. It's all over time. I mean, you can go back into the 80s where you have shows like Designing Women, and you have a character that everyone clearly knows is gay, but it's sort of the understood purple elephant in the room that no one talks about.
They're slowly being more accepted. You have shows like Parental Control where parents choose, another gay partner for their son or daughter. There's movies and there's media out there that are a lot more tolerant of sexual orientation than there used to be.
In some ways, we're invisible. There aren't many gay characters on TV anymore.
If everyone who was gay or in a relationship would tell people, so that we're not invisible, so that people understand that we're everywhere. And I think if more people knew a gay person, a lot of people would just say, what's the big deal?
Any individual could make a difference by either supporting. I think that's one of the main things that they need because they're so, talked down upon.
Recently I changed jobs, and I changed jobs for a couple of reasons, but one of which was I didn't have access to domestic partner benefits. I was told that it would come over time, and one of my decision-making factors in making the switch was the fact that I would now have access to benefits. And as part of my exit interview process, I made sure that everybody that I talked to, and there were a number of people who I had the opportunity to speak to, knew that that was one of the major decisions. I mean, I had been asked to relocate for my job. And my answer to that was no, I couldn't relocate for a company where my spouse would not have access to health care.
I can remember growing up and my parents openly having conversations and using words like faggot, and little did they know what kind of an influence it was having on me. It would make me want to retreat into a shell, maybe think that, okay, something about me was in fact wrong.
Basically the biggest issue is just equality.
Don't know.
If they get killed because they were a practicing, out of the closet, openly, notoriously homosexual person, how does it make me feel? In the same way as I feel about everything. It happened in the providence of God. It's perfect. It's just perfect. What I know is that the only hate crimes I've ever seen committed are those that the fags commit against us.
I mean, just in the news recently, and a kid in 8th grade was shot. He was killed because he was different. Somebody, somewhere in today's media or whatever, made it seem all right for a child to come into school and murder somebody because he was openly gay.
Whether the number be 1,250 or 2, it's wrong.
I'm not fearful of it. Granted, it can happen to any one of us at any time.
That makes me feel uncomfortable that people are actually that hateful towards people because of their sexual preference, that they want to kill or hurt or harm anyone. I mean, we're all humans. We bleed the same blood.
If kids this young are learning this crap, if they can come into school and blow out the brains of somebody because they're gay at 8th grade, what's going to happen when he's 24 and he can legally carry firearms? What's going to happen when he can vote?
It's just really sad. It's not just sad for the individual that becomes a victim. It's just a sad state of affairs for the state of the world, period.
What if your family doesn't accept you anymore? What if your brother doesn't let his kids see you anymore? Which I was just totally taken back by the question. I had not even thought about it.
Somewhere, I have the hope that we will be able to change some of the views in this country that are a little wrong. And I don't care if you're from a church in Kansas or if you live right down the street. You're not allowed to tell me or anybody else where my eternal existence will be or what I'm allowed to do in this life.